ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You can go far beyond what people think you can do if you believe in it.
He's always wanted to bookend the series on a good note.
It just wasn't over. You know, you think it's over, then you go back, rehash it in your own mind like an athlete. You go, God, you know, maybe I just retired too soon. Maybe Rocky just retired too soon.
It was inspired by the George Foreman fight, the last fight he had with Michael Moore, with a guy that age who can still compete, and only compete, can win.
And so it made a lot of people in their mid-ages feel that they can accomplish some things.
The point is, as it said in Rocky, they just want to prove that the last thing to age is the heart. And this is just, you know, a symbolic gesture that when you're young at heart, you're basically in the game.
No matter how old you are, you still have something to offer, which is really what Rocky Balboa is about.
I don't care if you're 55 years old, nothing's impossible.
We can't forget that this is Rocky, and when you see him on screen again, you remember how much you love this character and how you're so happy to have him back.
Rocky's an inspirational story for many people around the world, and this is just Rocky getting older, but still the same heart and motivation and inspiration.
That's what draws a lot of people in and keeps the legacy and the legend of Rocky going.
The first script was actually wrote 2 years ago. January, New Year of '05, so I met with Irwin Winkler and Bob Chartoff and Joe Roth, and the deal was cemented where we would go forward and we would begin filming in the spring, and that's what we did.
In the beginning of this film, I thought, if his life is still intact, then you really don't have a launching pad, a starting off point. But if the most precious thing is taken away from you, and your stability is askew, and you're alone, full of grief, full of rage, full of anger, you know, what do I do now with the last chapter of my life? There's your starting off point.
Everybody who read the script said it was a very special story. It reminded him of the dramatic first one. It's really about him returning to his emotional roots.
What? You haven't peaked yet?
Peaked?
Yeah, peaked.
I don't know, there's still some stuff in the basement.
What basement?
In here. I think that people need a mountain to climb, literally going out and trying to find a mountain to climb, which is going to really change not his life, but the lives of the people around him.
Is the character in an emotional place where he can take on that battle? And that's what was so interesting about the movie, because you said, yeah, Rocky needs to go on that journey. And if he needs to go on that journey, then you're rooting for him all the way.
Rocky is a fighter. That is who he is, that is what he does. And that's what fills him up, and that's what makes him a whole person.
Well, mostly what Sylvester wanted to do was to repeat the success of the first one in the way he casted. He cast real people.
Of course, Burt is back.
I don't know about anybody else, but ice is stupid. And people walking on ice are more stupid.
Burt Young, of course, is extremely unique, and he's the only survivor of, you know, the Rocky 30-year journey.
I was completely floored that he seemed to have caught the essence, the cleanliness, the clarity of the first.
Their relationship is really pure. You know he's abusive. You know that Paulie is going to be insensitive, but in the end, he adores, he worships Rocky. It's his buddy. He's
almost like Rocky Balboa himself. You can't have a Rocky without Burt. He's Rocky's sidekick. He's intrinsic to this film, to the whole Rocky series.
Then we have a Milo who plays my son. Wonderful actor. Actually, even his mouth even is as crooked as mine. I don't get it. Same side, too.
It'd been a while since I'd seen the films, so I had to go back and reacquaint myself with everything in the character and, like, me personally, like, where Robert was coming from.
People are gonna think you're crazy.
I don't mind. Then we have Little Marie, who's a girl I walked home 30 years ago. Is played by Geraldine Hughes.
When was the last time you went dancing? Has it been a while?
Why are you asking me that?
Wow, I'm asking because you danced around all these problems. You might as well come and dance with me. Now, I ain't that good, but, you know, I'm probably better than the average bear. And where that came from, I don't know.
Believe it or not, she's European, Irish, but you would believe she's from the streets of Philadelphia and brings this great pathos.
I mean, I knew I was being considered, but I didn't think in a million years I would really be in this film. I said to him before the end of the conversation, I wanted him to know that he was an incredible influence in my family, and it really was a huge impact.
And to top it off, we have, you know, at the time, the light reigning heavyweight champion of the world, Antonio Tarver.
He's the real deal. And so I picked him and cast him for a reason. He wanted it to look real, and he didn't want it to look like an actor playing a boxer. He wanted a boxer boxing.
If you're gonna go one time around, why not end it with a real fighter? Someone who doesn't understand the magic of choreography. He can fight.
We sat down and we talked about the script. What comes to mind is how much he believed in the script and how much he believed in the actors that he involved in this movie.
Rocky's an allegory, the tale of a guy who always overcomes the odds. This last installment is the same formula, but in a contemporary setting, and these actors, they help contemporize the project.
It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do.
I guess directing is just sort of knowing what you want, but trying to convey it to 300 people at the same time. So a lot's going to get lost in translation.
This time I'm saying autographs over here. I know personally. Keep going. All right, applause. Go on. Woo!
Coming into a job where this guy's been doing this for years. It's like, wow, he's directing, you wrote, and I'm acting with him. As an actor, it's hard not to be intimidated or overwhelmed by that, but he's terribly kind with his time.
We did, at the end of Rocky 2, it was about, yo, Adrian, I did it. I did 10 takes. It was all, yo, Adrian, I did it, like, pal. And there's, I just did one take. Yo, Adrian.
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
It isn't like he's dealing with an actor or with an electrician or a gaffer. Everybody's the same. He'll work you and work you and work you. But there's no gripes because he's a frontline guy.
It's depressing and freaking cold.
What's the matter with you?
Hey.
Okay, I'm gonna go through that again. Are you ready, guys? Get your focus.
He really will let you know what he wants and what he's looking for, and has the patience, which is so important, to allow you to get that and to understand it.
Yo, Robert.
What is this? What are you doing out so late?
Well, I tried calling, but nothing was picking up.
Something wrong?
No, I just wanted to come by and see you in person.
Do you want to come inside?
It's interesting to watch an actor direct the other actors, because what the director needs out of them is very precise, because he's playing opposite in the scene.
It's nice to have a director take you under his wing and say, look, this is what we're looking for. And you see this little thing that you did, go even further, do a little more.
Hey, this is very cool.
This is cool. Look at this. I've never seen anything like that before. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool.
If you sit around long enough and watch enough work from other people, you know, you sort of come up with a style.
He knows what he wants, he's focused, he's got a vision, and he's sticking to it, and he believes in this.
Some scenes which are frenetic and internally disturbing, like when Rocky is being denied by the boxing commission his license, it's jerky, it's upsetting. It's actually a little unsettling to watch, but that's on purpose, because he's off, he's unbalanced in a sense. I mean, emotionally upset.
In good conscience, cannot recommend you for a license, and we therefore deny your application.
I just watch him work, and I'm fascinated by his focus and energy.
I'm going to take this camera and widen out. I'm going to pull back here and get it more of a raking profile.
Great, you get more gunner knowledge,
guys.
yeah.
That's it.
I love this.
Hard running
It's great. It's great.
The other scene when I'm shooting Dixon, it's very light and bright and it's sterile. Not a lot of interesting coverage, nothing dramatic in the lighting. I wanted to show that his life is without color, without shadows, without any ambience.
And he's a hard worker. I mean, he's a very hard worker. And like I said, he's inspired me. And I just work hard as I can, and know that this time that you have is only a moment, and you got to capitalize on every minute.
Unlimited energy. I see this when we're filming at like 3 in the morning when the rest of the crew is going, I guess Sly's got his second wind and then his third wind and a fourth wind.
Anybody who says they're tired on this set needs to be fired, because that man is a machine.
You can't do a Rocky without including Philadelphia. Rocky is as synonymous to Philly as the Steps, as the Art Museum, as the Bell.
The feel of the city, the look of the people, the atmosphere, the smells, all these things translate onto the film. Sly was intent on getting those very small characteristics that you just could not get by shooting in LA.
I'd never been here before. It was nice how welcoming everybody was and how excited everybody was to have us here.
The Philadelphia people look at Rocky as an existing being, as someone who sort of exists.
Sly is a hero, especially in Philadelphia.
That's what I hear all the time. I'm from Philadelphia and Rocky's my hero.
They're not yelling for Sylvester Stallone. Believe me, it's all Rocky, Rocky, yo, rock, rock. There is no separation between the two identities.
You're one of us.
That's for sure.
You really are. You just, in a very interesting and very nice way, you've become symbolic of our city and our people. We're probably about as blue-collar a place as you can get.
That's
I mean,
right.
our people work hard every day. Rocky just touched a really, really familiar chord with us, and you're that guy.
It was amazing, the crowd turnout and just the love in the crowd for Sly.
He is surrounded by people. We've had to hire extra security guards, and he doesn't want them. He keeps pushing through all the guards and the crowd control to sign people's autograph.
People just run up to him and like, can I get you? And he's, please, I need work.
I gotta go. I gotta make a living. We got a lot of work to do, guys.
I have to sometimes be very aware that they don't want me to act like Sylvester Stallone. They want you to be Rocky.
People went absolutely crazy. I mean, screaming, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
And it was particularly difficult at the Italian market because the idea at the Italian market was always to mix with the people that were there.
We knew going in that we would have 20 minutes and then it's going to be impossible. Sure enough, it was. And we just got a few shots out of it.
You're not paying attention.
It made it quite a challenge to shoot there, and we weren't able to move as quickly as we had hoped.
Everybody calls him Rocky. It's amazing. People don't call him Stallone down here. He is Rocky.
The Italian market, again, it's like going back to something that a fictional character coming home. I don't know, it's hard to put into words, or maybe it's easy to put into words. It was a happening, but it wasn't Sylvester Stallone's happening. It was Rocky had come home to roost.
He goes through basically a tour of a lot of the places that he frequented in the first movie.
The idea of revisiting them, I think, brings together a kind of nostalgic feel.
We were shooting the other night at Rocky's old house. It was a Friday. We shot till about 7 o'clock in the morning. I met one of the crew members in a coffee shop the next morning. He said, for me to be there shooting at Rocky's old house, he said, I felt like I was a part of history.
One of Sly's mantras was, this is going to be as real as possible. We're going to use real locations. We had a stage, but we never built anything on it.
We found this house driving around looking at, probably about 4 dozen houses. And the unique thing this house offered us, because there's so many houses that are similar to it, what we were given was this wonderful double wide space, 2 houses essentially. We presume that Rocky's lived here with Adrian since early 90s. So we created all these rooms, kitchen, Rocky's bedroom, Paulie's bedroom. We did this in sort of a record 10 days to put all the pieces together.
Philadelphia is the location. It is where the whole story took place. It's truly a character in the film.
And that's funny. It's product placement. You know what's funny? That's Converse. That's funny.
All right.
You know, weird.
First time you seen it?
Yeah. That's funny. Wow.
Everybody's expecting to see the museum steps. Every day you see people running up there and throwing up their arms. It's the moment. Most people that have been to Philly have done it.
I was just playing like that. It's incredible. I was just pretending to be you. Hey, I make it.
We weren't supposed to work until Sunday because that's when the snow was going to come. But I had a feeling it was going to come on Saturday. So I said, let's just be ready. Let's have someone there from 8 o'clock. I said, By the time they wrapped, it was 5 in the morning. That means people had 3 hours sleep. I said, I'm telling you, I got a gut feeling. Let's be ready.
Shooting it, you know, it's not that complex. You're covering him running upstairs. It's a set of stairs, but it's not the most complex thing that we've done, but probably the most recognizable scene in the movie.
The crew shows up, a little militant, a little angry, and I don't blame. Everyone's tired. I can't see straight, and no snow. And we're sitting around, and I'm looking bad, really bad. And we're ready to pack up, and boom, the sky opens up. And I mean opens up. These things are like washcloths coming in. They're like thunk, these big slices of sky.
We ordered this weather. I made a call upstairs last night.
This is unbelievable. I hope we get this shot because it may turn into a blizzard, which is not a good thing. So, if I get to the top of the steps, primarily by dog sled, we know we've gone too far.
It's a historic moment. Glad I'm here to see it.
I mean, how could you not be part of this history? You know what I mean? And look, it's magical weather. It's like magic.
When we finished, it stopped. Now, I'm not a big believer in, divine intervention, but it was extraordinary. And it was a very emotional time for me, so I stood on the steps and I go, this is it. I said, Sly, you got to turn this around, man. So I'm standing on the steps, I'm looking out the city, the sun is going down. I go, but at least you did it. At least you did it. You got here, you ended it on, who knew it would end on this moment in the snow, on the steps in Philadelphia.
It's exactly the kind of mood and send-off and story point that works for this film. But on an emotional level, it hasn't sunk in yet. This is like the last time I'll ever be wearing these clothes, last time Rocky had, last time on the steps.
The legacy, I never thought it would ever end up being a legacy, but I guess what has come out of it, a pretty universal dream to try to rise up and take your best shot at life. When I yell cut, it's over. It's like a 30-year journey, everything I've ever had in my life. Everything maybe that I'll accomplish that is really worthy is done.